YouTubers, I would like to talk today about the welding helmets that I've acquired by some random events and some impulse purchasing. I now have 4 welding helmets, and I would like to talk about them. So there's 2 in particular that are my favorite right now, and I'll go into more depth with those 2, which is the Lincoln Electric 3350 with the 4C the lens, and also the Miller Digital Elite helmet. These are my 2 favorite helmets. So let's start with the one on your left, which is the Lincoln Electric Darkfire helmet. This one is I purchased at Canadian Tire. This one has 2 sensors on it, and it's solar powered. I actually don't have anything bad about to say about this helmet. It's very light. It feels really comfortable. It actually feels better on your head than the top of the line helmets, the Lincoln 3350 or the Digital Elite. So it does feel a little bit lighter. It doesn't have the major features. It's just got a basic function. It has a light sensitivity switch from low and high. So there's not many features on this. This is very basic. So you just have a low, high, and fast and slow for the delay function. And then there is what seems to be an analog shade adjustment on the side, which I think is really good to be able to have it on the side, because you can actually switch it with your gloves on. And that's something that you can't do with the better helmets for some reason. I don't know why. So overall, it's for someone like me, I think this would have been enough. You don't really need something that is crazy expensive to do the type of welding for someone like myself, where I don't work. I'm not a welder. I just do it as a hobby, just to weld some stuff and fix things around the house. But anyway, so that's just your basic helmet. It doesn't have many features. I'm going to put this one aside, and we'll talk more in detail about these 2. And also, this is just your basic flip front passive style helmet, and I just have an 11 lens on it. And I've tried it a couple of times. I don't mind it at all. I think the only time I do mind it is if I want to, let's say if you have everything that's clamped to the table and you don't have to support anything with your other hand, and you don't want to tack things in place. I find that I could use this without any issues, and just put it on. Some guys like it; they just flip their head, and obviously it drops down automatically. I'm not that experienced, so for me, every time I try that, it just goes like halfway or something like that, or I don't see the weld after I move my hand around and things. So I don't use this one very often, but it's just one that if I am to weld outside in the sunlight, then maybe I'll pull this one out. Or if someone is standing by just looking at me welding, then they could also use this. So, Lincoln Electric Viking 3350. I just actually picked this one. This is the last purchase that I made. So I had the Digital Elite before I had the Lincoln Electric. I must say I like the fact that the lens on the Lincoln seems to be a lot lighter in the light state. So when you're not welding, it's lighter. So I think the shade on it is one step lighter, and I'll demonstrate that. I'll put a camera on it and we'll have a look side by side, and we'll see which one looks brighter without the shade on. And also this is supposed to be the 4C lens, which is supposed to be a lot better, clearer at any angle, so you can see the weld the same apparently at any angle that you're holding your head to the weld. So if the light is coming from the front or from the side, from any angle, it's apparently it's the same visibility, which is not on some of the cheaper helmets. The headgear on these, it seems to be, to me, it seems to be the same. The Lincoln Electric is probably a little bit stiffer than the Digital Elite, and the reason also could be that this is still not used as much. So I'm guessing once it's being used, it will get a little bit more comfortable because it will conform. So that's what happened with the Digital Elite. I think once things are new, you put them on the first time and they just feel a little awkward. So that's the feel. What I like on the Digital Elite is I really like the interface on the Digital Elite. The way you can clearly see that you're shade 10, or you'll go to 11 or 12. That is better. The Viking, what you have is you have knobs here, and with my eyesight, I have a pretty bad eyesight, and that's the cards I was dealt. So that's me. But I have sometimes trouble. Like I really have to look at it close and focus to see what shade I'm on. Features on them seem to be the same. Lens, obviously, on the Viking is a lot bigger, or it looks a lot bigger than on the, maybe not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot, but it's a little bit bigger than on the Digital Elite, so on the Viking. The Digital Elite has an X mode, which is supposed to sense the electromagnetic field from welding. So that's supposed to be pretty good at TIG welding at low amperages, and when you're outside in the sunlight. So let's do some shots and see how they look. I'm gonna get set up. I'm gonna get some scrap. I'm not going to weld anything. I'm just gonna put a bead, just so you guys can see.
Okay, so let's switch to the Lincoln Electric, and this is a view through the Viking 3350.
After doing that little test and welding side by side, I must say if I was to buy each of these again, I would probably have a tough time. So let's say if I wanted to sell one, I would have a tough time deciding which one I would be selling. And the reason being is that I like the digital interface on the miller. I like that I can see it clearly. I like the headgear. I am still not. I don't have enough experience with the X mode as of yet. I didn't weld outside with any of these helmets, so it's hard to say. On the Viking, I like the 4C lens better. I like the crisp view of the lens. So I'm right now leaning a little bit more towards the Viking, and the reason for that is also maybe because it's a newer purchase, so I'm a little bit more excited about it. But I will decide once I get to weld outside a bit, and once I get to use the X mode, because that could also be a deal breaker for me in terms of selling the miller. The visibility when you're welding with it, the view is still really good on the miller. It's really good on the Viking. So yeah, it's a tough. You know, if you're comparing, you know, both of them are on par. You know, at a level that you know, it's a different story. It's you know, then it becomes a difficult decision. Other than that, that's my take on it. So I would give the Viking probably 9 out of 10, and I would give the Miller, let's say 8.5 out of 10 as of now. So that's my take on it, and thanks for watching.